Let's take a minute to talk about 333, manifestations, timelines, agreements, and your heart's desires. So we're going to talk about 3. We're talking about 333. We are talking about 9. And we are talking about 4 today. Let's get into it. Now, when we talk about 3 in general, we're talking about manifestation, your physical reality, your timeline. Okay, because what you manifest, what you experience, what your 3D reality is associated with timeline, past, present, future. So when you're talking about manifesting, you are talking about formulating or creating your future timeline, or attempting to create a certain future timeline. This is important. This is important because when we talk about manifesting on a subconscious level or an unconscious level or relative to agreements made, past, present, and future, this is vital to understanding why your heart's desires may be conflicting with what you're manifesting. Because that should not be the case. When we talk about 333, we're talking about the masterful manifestation number coded in love because it totals 9. The number of mastery, right? The number of walking in a realm with such compassion, with such love, with such understanding of the human condition. That you embody love, you exude love, you are love, you feel love, right? So this is very important to understand. But there are hindrances involved relative to the number 4 that must be understood. So let's talk about that. Now, metaphysics teaches that when we are attempting to manifest a future timeline for ourselves, the heart is involved. Hence 333, manifesting your heart's desires. This is a deep yearning for something. This is sending that frequency towards source to create a future timeline that directly correlates with everything that you crave. Internally, emotionally. When you send that desire, that frequency up to source, source is 0. The 0 point frequency. Indifference, objectivity, not good or bad, is not going to have any sort of interpretation about what you're asking for, but will simply give it to you. So then why don't we all have what we want? So then why don't we all just have what we want? We must pay attention to 4. We must pay attention to where we're putting our energy, where we're giving our energy, where we're being fed on versus where we're being nurtured. We must pay attention to the agreements we've made in this lifetime, as well as every single past life. Because metaphysics also teaches that that frequency you sent up from that 333 space must travel through 4 energy before it returns to you. So what exactly does this mean? Let's say your 333 frequency is asking source. So your heart's desire, let's say, right, is asking source for a loving partner. But let's say in a past life, you've made a vow of nurturing. Meaning you have committed your energy to being in non-reciprocal, toxic relationships because they'll teach your soul valuable lessons. So what's going to happen is that 333 frequency is traveling through that 4 space with that agreement there. And your request will be neutralized by your past life agreement. And you will not receive your 333 request. You will receive harm. Let me give you another example. Let's say your 333 frequency is asking source for money, abundance. But let's say in a past life you made a vow of lack. Let's say, right, for certain reasons. Let's say that everyone during that time period that you knew that had money was not a good person. So you made a vow subconsciously or unconsciously, right? Just through your belief and your orientation and your opinions that you didn't want to have money because it would make you a bad person. It would strip you of your spirituality, or it would strip you of your connection to God. So that's now existing in your 4 realm. So every time you send up that 333 request for abundance, returns to you neutralized. And I'm absolutely adoring working with Jeffrey because he is a master vibrational healer and metaphysician. And I'm a master numerologist, right? Our commonality is frequency. It's frequency. And it's interesting because he will put things that I teach about or that I've written about or I perceive in my mind, and he'll draw them. And he'll draw them and he'll explain them in a way. And I'm like, I knew it. I knew it. But you putting it into those terms or those illustrations is super helpful. And I hope that by elaborating a little bit further for you guys, you can understand how these energies all work together. They all work together. Manifestation is not only the duty of 3 alone, because there are so many other moving parts, okay? Your own fears, 5, that could be hindering your manifestations. Do you understand? And trust me, my love, I'm not here just trying to sit on some soapbox. I'm in the midst of these clearings as well. I'm learning more as well. And I'm sharing with you because I really hope to help the world understand the benefit of numerology, right? Outside of just being curious or just receiving angel numbers and not really knowing what they mean, okay? It's important. It's important because if your reality is not what you want your reality to be, something's hindering it. There's energetic blockages because you are a creator. I am a creator. So figuring out, okay, well, what's stopping my 333 frequency? Especially if you're being a good person, especially if you're putting in the work. So what's blocking it? Because until I'm in my mansion with numbers across the marble flooring and a huge grand fireplace and grand staircase, and I'm walking down the stairway into my dining room with gold place settings and hand-lit candles, right? And a big dragon and lion guarding the long driveway governed by weeping willows with Spanish moss all along both sides up into my home with a circular driveway. Oh my gosh. So until I'm there, we're on this road together. But I just wanted to share that. So the importance of 3, 3, 3, 3, and 4 energy. Very important. Take care.